ahead. The earnings season literally actually rings in today with IndusInd Bank, and will be a full-blown season when Infosys announces its numbers on Monday. So starting now, we will get you pre-results analysis from a host of experts. Joining us first in that list is Nischal Maheshwari, co-head institutional equities and head of research at Edelweiss Securities. Morning, Nischal. Thank you very much for joining us. Well, first up, what should you expect from Infosys itself and the IT space? Do you think it will usher in a positive result season at all?
Morning, Lata. I think Infosys, at least we believe they are going to surprise the market. We are looking at on a Q&Q growth of around 4%. I think the market is expecting somewhere around 3.8 to 4. So we believe that that would be definitely positive. If anywhere north of 4%, basically Infosys is able to deliver. Overall, I think there will be challenges in the IT space itself, and there would be companies like Infosys which will do better than the others.
Okay. Nischal, hi, good morning. Well, the last time when Infosys came out with their numbers, since then and now, the stock has seen a very good performance, all the way back to the 1150 mark. If we do get a surprise in this quarter's performance as well, what do you see as the upside for Infosys? And what would your pecking order in the IT space look like now?
So I think from the last quarter to this quarter, I think the stock is more or less flat basically. And if I look at the numbers basically, I think anywhere from 75 to 80 rupees earning is what most of the people are. So if I do calculation basically, then I think 20 times is what Infosys should be trading if it goes up another 50 rupees from here. So I think between 1200 to 1300 rupees is where Infosys can go up basically if it delivers this kind of a result. And from then onwards, I think it cannot be having a better multiple than TCS, which is already quoting at around 20 times. So this is what I believe that the limited upside, but definitely what can drive the thing is a lot of funds which have been still underweight and have been watching Infosys for now 2-3 quarters. So if another good quarter comes in, I think a lot of shifting will happen from TCS to Infosys, and that may drive the prices up. Okay. As far as our packing order is concerned, I think Infosys is up there. Then we have Tech Mahindra, TCS, and HCL Tech.
Okay. What about the other stock, IndusInd Bank, that comes out with its numbers today and will kickstart the earnings season? It's been a great quarter for IndusInd Bank the last couple of quarters, and this time also numbers are expected to be good. How are you positioned on that stock?
So all the private sector banks, we are positive. We continue to maintain a buy, but specifically IndusInd Bank, I do not have the numbers with me basically how our expectations are on that. But we are positive on all the private sector banks.
Okay. What else would you start positive on before the result season, Nischal? From your company's analysis, where are we going to be positively surprised?
I think two spaces looks good to me. One is, I think, the banking space. Even the PSU banks are going to give you a surprise this time, given that 50 basis point cut has happened. And there's going to be good amount of profits on the AFS portfolio for most of the PSU banks. That's going to give surprises to people. And again, the other space which looks still good is the consumption side. So be it autos, be it FMCG, I think those guys are still going to continue to show good traction as far as top line and the bottom lines are concerned. The other spaces which may do well is the utility space. Basically, there I think margins should improve basically going ahead, given that the commodities have come down.
Okay. Do you have a view on the logistics sector, Nischal? I'm just bringing this up because, this is news that's just broken a couple of hours ago, where TCI has decided to go in with a demerger. The stock is up almost about 15% now. Have you tracked that story?
No, we do not have that stock under coverage. In the logistics space, we have only one or two stocks, Concor to be specific, where we have coverage there.
So is there an expectation of a good quarter for many of these logistics companies?
I think some of them basically like a Blue Dart, All Cargo, Concor, I think some of these companies will do well, and especially which are more aligned towards the e-commerce space. So Blue Dart definitely, I don't know how much TCS gets its business from e-commerce, but I think the underlying thing is the e-commerce space basically, which is still doing pretty well. So logistic companies basically which are aligned towards the e-commerce space, I think they are going to do well.
Okay. Well, you said you will load up on private sector banks. Any other space?
So I said PSU banks, private sector, and then the domestic consumption. So domestic consumption.
So all your Emamis, Daburs, Maricos, right. All of them will be positive?
FMCG and auto. Okay. To an extent that the telecom has also been beaten down quite a bit. I think that both these stocks, Idea and Bharti, looks a good trading bet, and I am very specific being a trading bet basically because Reliance Jio is around the corner. So these stocks, since they've been beaten down so much, I think they also look a good trading bet.
So what are your top picks in the pharmaceutical space this time, Nischal, and where are you bullish on in terms of earnings this quarter?
So earnings and stock may be different basically as far as pharma is concerned. So our top pick still continues to remain as Sun. We believe that there is huge amount of synergy which Sun and Ranbaxy merger is going to get created. Obviously, the immediate quarter is not going to be showing that, but on a long-term basis, given that the stock is corrected almost 30% from the top, and the merger is going through, and it has its own pangs basically. But I think that's our top pick basically as far as the pharma space is concerned, and the pecking order is Dr. Reddy's and Lupin followed by that.
Okay. Well, finally, overall, Nischal, what will be the earnings growth call at the end of the results quarter? What are you working with in terms of an earnings growth, and are you ahead of the consensus? Are you above the consensus, below the consensus?
I have not looked at the consensus, unfortunately, but still the current quarter doesn't seem to be better than what happened last quarter as far as top line is concerned. We are still seeing a negative top line growth on my coverage universe, a negative almost on a YOY basis of around 3%. And if I look at ex-OMCs, then I have a positive bottom line on my coverage. Coverage is almost 85% of the market cap.
All right, Nischal, we'll leave it at that. We've run out of time, but thanks for those ideas. We'll take a break. When we come back, IT Bellwether Infosys announces its earnings on Monday. Sandeep Muthangi of IIFL Institutional Equities will tell us what to expect.
CNBC TV 18, celebrating 15 years of leadership.